Hi, Kristen. Sorry I'm not able to call you, but I'm just leaving a recording so you'd get my thoughts on the matter. Um, so let's go to that slide that you shared with me. So the slide shows good energy and a clear forward motion. It's great that you're visualizing the path to rollout. The structure of a quarterly timeline is spot on. It's the right framing. What I think we should do next is to make sure it reflects the reality of a healthcare SaaS product. In other words, software as or process as a service as a product, not a consumer product, so that investors and executives immediately would trust it. Right now, the slide reads like a consumer rollout: design, launch, marketing, and retail expansion. For a healthcare enterprise product, I think we should shift to a compliance validated implementation story. In other words, first step should be to build trust in our workflow and in our UI, in other words, user interface. Uh, Second step would be to validate in the real world. And third step is to scale within Sutter. And fourth step, hopefully, to go national, if you'd like that. But first, let's ask some guiding questions. Uh, for example, when Sutter launches this, who signs off on the workflow, your processes? Is it IT, compliance, or a CVO? CVO meaning credentials validation officer. In other words, I see that Sutter is trying to hire one for in-house, uh, but if you're going to take this national, hopefully, yeah, that CVO should be a third party. And there are third parties that do that sort of thing, uh, uh, so that they will sign off on your uh, of your that we can trust your data. And second question would be, um, where do we prove data accuracy before even going live? Um, and we would show that in our data, in our pilots. And what milestone would tell an investor we've moved from pilot to a scalable system? Uh, yeah, I think those are some of the transitions that some of the Shark Tank people might ask you. Um, and if this product had to pass a hospital's vendor audit, what would they check for? And I'd like to uh, suggest some elements. So for this data wallet implementation timeline, the first step I think should be to build trust. And how do we do that? We uh, show that our data ingestion pipeline is verifiable by a CVO, whether in-house or outside. So outside, in other words, how do we show whether it be manual or AI driven? We show that the process is clear, and on the clinician side, the UX, the user experience, that it is helpful to them, and there is an attestation flow. In other words, they can say that yes, that's me, and yes, that's correct. Um, and for privacy and security, we should be able to say that it is SOC 2 and HIPAA compliant. Well, not exactly HIPAA compliant. I know that it did no patient data is here, but the thing is, we should be able to say it's HIPAA line. In other words, the same security that governs the patient data also govern, just because actually if you look at it, a lot of the data that they're giving is private. And I'll mention later which are those. And we should be able to say that it is audit ready. And secondly, to the next step should be validate in the real world. I suggest maybe pilot with 20 Sutter clinicians, and we should be able to show that there is at least 85% autofill accuracy for on credentialing forms. If we can do that, that's a big thing, I think. And that this whole process has been CVO validated, and it is the CVO validation integrated into the workflow that we present. And third, scale it inside Sutter, maybe expand to 3 departments and have 200 clinicians. Epic has a sandbox. I have to talk to my Epic people. Epic usually has a sandbox where you can test vendor integration live. Yeah. And we should be able to publish the pilot impact results with Sutter or with any other institution that's interested in our results. And lastly, go national, maybe sign 2 health systems. Even if you don't, at least you should be able to say, we have talked to at least 2. And then at that time, we shall launch the portability API, or it's a pipeline for cross-system credentialing. In other words, this is how other institutions will connect with you to credential, certify their credentials, certify their clinicians' credentials. And yes, prepare for a national credentialing portability rollout. In short, this timeline signals discipline, focus, and credibility. It should tell investors we know the healthcare workflows, we have compliance baked in, and we're ready to scale it with proof, and we have the proof. So again, in summary, I think the implementation timeline could be: first step, build it, design the clinician wallet and data pipeline, and 2, complete the HIPAA-aligned infrastructure. 2, prove it, pilot at Sutter Health with 20 clinicians, and to show that our onboarding time is cut from 40 days to less than 10 days. Actually, if everything's in order, it could be done in an hour. 3 is scale it, expand to 3 departments with 200 plus users, and integrate it with EHR, starting with the Epic Sandbox. And lastly, to grow it, design at least 2 new health systems and launch a national credentialing portable beta. So build it, prove it, scale it, grow it. I think those are the basic steps. And actually, there's so much you can do. There's so much value you can create actually with this. But you could start with this. So again, let's go through the important elements. Is that, okay, HIPAA, it's a trust signal, not just a legal label. Because even though when no PHI protected health information is handled, healthcare enterprise buyers and compliance officers will ask, are you HIPAA aligned? What they're really asking is, do you understand secure data handling? Can you pass our InfoSec review? Will our compliance officer sign off on you? So saying HIPAA aligned, not HIPAA regulated, tells them, yes, we follow the same technical and privacy standards you expect, even if we are not legally required. So you could say in your presentation, HIPAA aligned and enterprise security ready, even though we don't process PHI. And second is to have CVO and NCQA validation involving sensitive identity data. While not PHI, clinician records can include personally identifiable information like the SSN for background checks, license numbers, DEA certificates, credentialing history, and hospital affiliation. And that makes data protection privacy essential, even if it's not medical data. So HIPAA alignment demonstrates respect for the same security posture hospitals already operate under. So probably the phrase you can use is protecting clinician identity data with HIPAA grade security and CVO verification. And lastly, HIPAA ready shortcuts red tape. Large systems like Sutter Health, Kaiser, Providence have vendor approval process that often start with the phrase, does your product meet HIPAA or SOC 2 requirements? You should be able to say yes. Even if you explain that PHI is not involved, being able to say yes, we're HIPAA ready, shortens procurement cycles. It's not about compliance per se, it's about clearance speed. So, I hope it helps, and I hope that that concept program that I sent you, how it helps, how it gives an idea of how the stakeholders in your product will be accessed by the stakeholders, people from HR, people from the hospital, and other members of the team. So I hope to talk to you soon, and let me know how else I can help you. I am super excited in helping you and this project. I think you have something maybe you don't realize that it is really has big potential, and because you know what, the three things that will dominate the next 2 years, 5 years is number one, security. Number two is how your automation process is certifiable, valid, and there was another one. And of course, the last one is the most important thing, and that is trust. Yes, because with AI, who can you trust, or what can you trust? If anything, everything can be manufactured. So that's why trust. What you're really selling is a trustworthy product, a trustworthy service by a trustworthy group of people, backed by and verified by institutions of trust validation. So basically, that's it. And hope to hear from you soon. Bye.